Chihuahua. Bringing in that spiritual transmission, that code, that frequency. Much love, much respect to all my brothers and sisters of Christic light. My Chihuahua family. Much love and much respect to all of your journey. It is an honor to be walking this journey with you. And there's not like there's a lot of us, a very small percentage of the planet are into these Emerald Order freedom teachings. I'm learning about, you would say, the most advanced spiritual ascension teachings on the planet, including Merkaba. So, is this crooked? It looks a little crooked on my but I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, got camera. Can someone please put in chat if you can see me and hear me okay? Looks like I got sound and everything. Yeah. So much love, much respect to my spiritual gangsters in Christos. Sorry about Saturday, you guys. It was kind of a late notice for me. I saw that they're starting the annual drum circles again in Nevada, Las Vegas, and so I couldn't resist. It's the first one of the year, so because it's starting to get warm again. They always stop in like November or something when it gets too cold. I smothered my candle, but I lit my incense charcoal. Okay. So yeah, it was a blast at the drum circle. I had to be very, very careful because of my back. But it still worked out. I mean, I was very mindful and careful. I did a little bit of weed medicine, so it helps with the pain, and so I think that was part of it. But I was always mindful of how I was going to do my back. My back is getting a little bit better, so I've been doing exercises, and I got one of those lumbar cushions for this chair when I'm working, and so it's slowly getting better. So it was a great drum circle. Gratitude to all my brothers and sisters who went out there, locally. You guys didn't come, but, there was local Vegas people going. It was way out in the boonies, a dry lake bed. So it was awesome. It was powerful. It was just, my tolerance on the weed is really low because I don't smoke it that often. Only, when I see my girlfriend, we like to have fun and relax. That's about it. Honestly, I don't need people to believe or care, but anyways, it's a great time for me also to get out of this chair because I work so much, to go out and dance around, because that's what I do. There's plenty of drummers, but I'm one of the dancers out there, kind of like just improv, just feeling it, just vibing it, just expressing it, spirit coming through, which is your personal Christos, those other identities, which is tonight's topic as well. Spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension is about your ability to bring in your higher consciousness. And when there's a lot of false light teachings out there, there's a lot of people who are not going to ascend. Literally, most humans will not ascend. And this is not something that I'm making up. For all the newcomers, I have to, articulate that my teachings are all based on the law of one. I even, the innerchristos MCEO teachings. This is why I intentionally put the source of what I'm going to be talking about tonight. What I talk about every live is based on these Emerald Order teachings. I'm not making stuff up. They're not my personal opinions. And we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. For those of you who don't agree with everything I'm saying, it's these teachings that are saying it. And I'm a student of these teachings since 2010. I got certified in Phoenix at Ashiana Dean's Phoenix workshop. Officially taught to be a teacher, facilitator of Kathara. So I met Ashiana Dean, Speaker 1, Speaker 2, and Speaker 3, Michael Dean, Marianne Calloway, in person. So that was a great honor. Plus the younger generation that they introduced on stage. So these are the guardian teachings. It's not Ashiana's teachings. It's not a corporate or trademark on planet Earth. This is a universal guardian group. So it is an honor to be sharing this knowledge, which is forbidden history, forbidden teachings, because the majority of teachings on Earth are based on Anunnaki or reptilian, false light, inverted teachings. Literally, they are anti-God, anti-Christos, they're anti-Earth. They literally abuse the Earth. They put atrocities on our planet Earth as a spiritual being, as a consciousness. They have created atrocities on human race throughout history. You know, I reveal these beings. I've literally, no exaggeration, I literally have hundreds of videos exposing these beings. And so when we're talking about spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension, this is being interrupted by these groups. These groups that I just mentioned, Anunnaki, reptilians, have specifically put DNA blocks. And these are blocks, they have a name. They're even talked about in these teachings when they go through the genetic hybridization along the way of hybridizing humans. There was DNA blocks put in. And if you understand some of the mechanics, well, we'll go over some of those details, but every strand of DNA has 12 substrands that make up that full strand of DNA. So if they put a block in substrand 5, you can't go to the 5th dimension. It's blocked. They did that intentionally. But we had some drama on Earth, and even the Guardians put blocks in our DNA on certain parts of the population who are causing the problems, who were not ready to go into the Mente sphere, you know, through the Ark of the Covenant portal passageway into the Andromeda secret planet system, which is talked about in detail in these Voyagers books and the MCEO, Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order workshop series. There's hundreds of workshop series, hundreds of hours of teachings. I mean, this is a huge ton of knowledge, and so that's what my channel is based on. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please write them in the comments. Tag my channel name, which is Christos Avatar TV. Put that in your message, so I will highlight. You know, use the @ Christos Avatar TV. And also, while my girlfriend is here live, she's one of the moderators, Giannis1111. She will put those questions for me on Discord so I can see them. Because I can't stare at the chat the whole time and see them, you guys. So I got that open in case she comes through. And also, guys, since at the beginning of this live, I just have to say that for those of you who do not know, YouTube has demonetized my channel. That means I no longer make one single penny on YouTube. And you can even easily go to any of my videos. There's absolutely zero commercials. It's all now free-based platforms for my channel. So I cannot earn money So I on this lives or on my videos. So I ask you guys to please donate through PayPal. I put a PayPal link. It's pinned at the top. You can't miss it in chat. I also put that same link in the description below. $5, you guys, $10, $15. Every single penny makes a difference in my life right now. I'll be okay in May, but after May, it's going to start getting, worrisome. So, thank you so much, you guys. I just wanted to say that real quick. You can also support my channel by becoming a member. If you don't want to donate, then at least become a member, and you will get the entire 20-hour Cathar workshop. I want to point out very succinctly, you guys, these videos, these MCEO videos are under attack. They're being censored. They're being taken down from YouTube and other platforms. It's hard to find all of these workshops. So this is why your brother Enuhazi is going to start putting these workshops to reserve them, to be able to share them. Because I cannot share them with you on YouTube. I will get strikes on my channel. I could lose my channel. So I'm going to take them off of the YouTube platform onto my Patreon membership area. That's the only way I can share these videos. I can't share hundreds of hours of workshops on my website either. I have a small website hosting you have to choose what my hosting is, and they're not going to allow you to run people making all these views on my website. That doesn't work. I already checked it out. So my only alternative is scratching in my head, wondering what the F I'm going to do to share these videos. Well, I'm going to put them in the members area. That's all. And people are going to say some crap. Let them. This is not. They don't understand the context of what I'm talking about. So those of you who know, you were following channels who were showing these video workshops. But the channel disappeared because they got 3 strikes because they had Ashiana Dean's content. And so they got taken down. I'm not losing Christos Avatar. I'm not risking Christos Avatar. But I'm still going to share it with you. I'm going to be a rebel in this regard. Your brother Enuhazi is a rebel because you guys know there's a split in the shield. Ashiana Dean is still trying to control the old content and only push her new content. Just so you guys don't know, bless Ashiana, and we love her, whatever her journey is. But she legally changed her name, her personal name. She changed her company name. She changed the teachings name. They're no longer the same teachings. So while she's doing that, she's also stopping anyone trying to upload her videos. And so this is the context I'm telling you. This is what you can accept that or not. I actually don't need you to agree. So thank you guys so much for being here. This is what these teachings are based on. They're based on the Emerald Order Universal Freedom Teachings. Universal, not limited to Earth. They're actually literally English translations from the technology called holographic disc records, the CDT. They call them plates, but they're really holographic discs. Cloister Dora Terra plates, holographic disc records. These are not channel teachings. They exist on actual literal alien tech, Guardian ET tech. And for example, Ashiana was originally taught Kalantic transmission to connect to those, to see with her third eye those records in the holographic disc records that were then translated. She was a translator of those records that still exist to this day. So thank you guys so much for being here. Tonight is about spiritual awakening and ascension. And even in the video title, it mentions DNA. Just so you guys know, that you cannot ascend without activating your DNA strands that are currently dormant in the what's been labeled as junk DNA. So that requires some explanation. But let me make sure we're on the same page and everything's good, right? You guys can see me and hear me? Yeah, okay. So this channel, I mentioned those things not so you can demonize Ashiana. Don't start saying disrespectful things in my chat about Ashiana Dean. We love her, we respect her, and especially for her service and Speaker 2's service and Speaker 3's service. So don't start saying some BS in my chat about her. So thank you for that. And moderators, make sure that that doesn't happen. Thank you. You guys, this is a universal science. Ascension is a science, not an opinion. You can't go through spiritual. Okay, let's talk about what is a spiritual ascension first. What is spiritual ascension? To explain that requires explaining the multidimensional reality, because there's no purpose to understand what is ascension if you don't know that the reality is actually several different levels. Okay? So there is what we call all of creation. And we exist in only a small part or portion of all of God's source's creation. Creator created all existence, all life forms, all identities. That's why Creator, which is not a male or a female, not a he or a she, it's not a pronoun. God is a consciousness. So Creator created everything. Creator is everything. Everything is created within Creator's God's source consciousness. So everything exists within God's consciousness. You can't be separate from God, even though you have religions telling you exactly that. You understand how horribly distorted that is. When you know that everything is in God, everything is God, this is what you call the law of one. Everything is source God. Everything is the one, within the one. It's impossible to be separate from the omnipresent. Do you know what that means? Present everywhere. Omnipresent doesn't mean some places. Omnipresent means God, source, is everywhere. No exceptions. Even though religions make exceptions. They say believers only. The Israelites say the Jewish people only. Only God's favorite people. It's all those examples are all fallen angelic narratives of false light teachings, what we call false creeds. That's not the truth. There is a truth. There is no opinion to God. There is something called divine right order. And that which is not divine right order has become distortion. Through the mechanics of the hologram system that we're in. Remember, I said we exist within a portion of creation called the 15-dimensional time matrix. But there's higher God worlds outside of the 15-dimensional time matrix, which, by the way, has no distortion, it operates within 100% divine right order, capitalized divine right order, DRO, divine right order. So even though there's over, if you can Google that real quick, how many religions are on planet Earth, you will see there's over 30,000 different religions, which are confusions. There's no such thing as a different religions when there's only, what I mean is, there's only divine right order, not opinions. That's 30,000 plus opinions. They're distortions, not divine right order. And notice, all of those religions are talking about some physical, genderized God. Oh yeah? God has a penis or a vagina? Because what do you think gender is? When your God is a father, when your God is a goddess, you just put gender on God. Do you see? That is the distortion, you guys. That is the intentional lie. God is not a pronoun. Do you understand? Within this 15-dimensional time matrix, only some of it, only the lower levels have gender. So that actually tells you where these supposed gods are coming from. They are extraterrestrials in the lower dimensions. Because Source God is omnipresent, how can you be present in only a male body? How can you be present in gender alone when it's only in the lower levels of the 15-dimensional time matrix, which is within the unified field of Source God? No, God is not limited to a male. God is not limited to a female. God is omnipresent everywhere, including all males, including all females, including all animals, including all insects, including all consciousness, including all life forms. God is great. God isn't it. Some people are going to have problems with that. It versus he or she. God is an it because God is not a he or a she. God is outside of gender. God is outside of having a physical body. God doesn't have a physical body. There's actually literally nothing, there is nothing that is actually physical. There's only the illusion of physicality in this huge interconnected energetic system. Everything is energy. Everything is within the unified consciousness of Source God. Every single particle, every single, what the Guardians call ultra micro particles, subatomic, atomic, ultra micro particles. Everything is living conscious entities and living conscious units. All those little tiny particles that are conscious create larger conscious forms, things, parts. Every single part, every single particle is Source God field, Source God, unified field. Everything is within the unified field. That includes bad guys. That includes demons. We're not saying God is a demon. Don't get that confused. Understand there's parts of God's frequency in the time matrix hologram that became distorted in its energy, in its original template. It is possible in the hologram 15-dimensional time matrix. It is not possible outside of the 15-dimensional time matrix. Source God is in the time matrix. Source became polarized, particle matrix, and anti-particle matrix. They go together. God is part mathematics, science, logic, not just spirit, creativity, human beings, spiritual beings. God is the math, the code behind its source. God is the source code of everything. All beings and things are source. All beings are faces of God in one form or another. So a lot of us, a lot of things in this 15-dimensional time matrix are versions of God's energy. And in the time matrix, some of those energies can become distorted, can have something called DNA code convolution. Okay, where some parts of these conscious beings were simply keeping within their own DNA pattern. You know, that's like incest. That is incest. Only marrying, only coupling, only creating other, family members through your own family members. Incest is best? No, it's not. You get distortion. You get problems when you have sex with the same family members. Even the mainstream scientists know that. Most people understand that. But that's what these beings were doing. And they were just having only their, creating life only within their own family lines. And so that caused distortions in the DNA templates, which create distortions in the consciousness. And this only happens within the 15-dimensional time matrix. And out of these 15 dimensions, we are currently in the third. That's not very high. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Out of 15 levels of the 15-dimensional time matrix, we're only in the third. That's like saying we're only in the third grade. You have a lot more to go through, holy ones. We're only low level. Remember what I said about gender? Gender is low level. See, humans are stuck in gender still. We still haven't evolved into androgynous life. We're still polarized male, magnetic, or polarized male, female. Oh wait, I said it backwards. Female is magnetic, or male electric, instead of electromagnetic, androgynous. We're experiencing mostly magnetic as a female, mostly electric as a male, instead of being both equal. Always equal. Electromagnetic is always an expression of equality, not inequality like you have in religions. Religions, those patriarchies, are sexist. They're off, not equal. Males, penis club. Women aren't allowed to. Women are put down. Women are treated like property in some cultures. Women are not, even it says in your precious Christian Bible that women are not allowed to teach the Word of God. But you'll see Christians doing it all the time. You'll turn on the Sunday news or Sunday, religious channels. All have women teaching. They just ignore those parts of the Bible, I guess. But anyways, we're not trying to show you. We're just correcting your own distortions. In your own distortions, it says you're not supposed to be teaching if you're a woman. They got some issues with the divine feminine. And then you're going to have feminists who are polarized and saying women, pro-women, and got some issues with men. That's not how you fix this problem. You're just repeating the opposite distortion. The answer to patriarchy is not matriarchy, honey. Oh, it's the women's turn. You see what I'm saying? You're stuck in distortion. You're still polarized. That's not how we progress. That's not how we move forward. Even if we've had centuries, millennia of polarized gender. Okay? We see it as a part, a half. Male, female. Literally half of a whole, which is a part of Ascension, tonight's topic. So many people want to be, this could be controversial. So many people want to be trans. Your soul did not make a mistake. You are male, and then you're female, and then you're male, and then you're female, and then you're male, and then you're female. You incarnate as 6 males and 6 females. You notice those are parts of a whole. All those are twin flames or soulmates. There's a difference. The Guardians call that twinning. So we're twinning, okay? Your soul, your DNA template is androgynous, but the Guardians had to polarize us into males and females because we couldn't fit all of our consciousness into one body in the 3rd dimension. We're not from the 3rd dimension, so they had to go through these specific things to fit our consciousness. Our diamond sun, angelic human consciousness, couldn't fit in universe 1, couldn't fit in the 2nd and 3rd dimensions. So they had to polarize us first. Now it's smaller. Instead of male female as one, that can't go inside a 3D body. So they had to take the male and the female, polarize it into male female. Now they can fit it into these bodies. But in spiritual ascension, you're coming together in your male-female gender as your male incarnations ascend, your female incarnations ascend, or maybe your twin flames and meet each other. I met my twin flame. You guys have benefit to meeting your twin flame. And not just some calling everybody a twin flame who's your current girlfriend or boyfriend. That's not how it works. There's only one specific woman or man on the planet who makes your twin flame. It's not, oh, I love this person, so that must be my twin flame. Yeah. So, spiritual ascension is very complex now on Earth because of the blocks in our DNA made by the Zeta Gray aliens made a block in our DNA. Let me see what this is. Let's see if I can find this on the PDF. It's in Voyagers. I'll find the PDF version. And you guys, there's still no donations. Please, you guys, even $5, $10, $20, whatever you feel called, you guys. This is how I survive. Literally, this is how I'm surviving. And eventually, I plan on doing more in the memberships to compensate for my loss in my income. So please, you guys, any of you online, brothers and sisters, there's got to be one of you who can make that first donation tonight. Thank you so much. All right, so let me look on here with this PDF, this book on a PDF. I think there's one called the Templar Seal. But let me get the exact name of it. Voyagers 2. I might open Voyagers 1, 2 because it might be starting in Voyagers 1. So there's Voyagers 1 and then there's a Voyagers 2. Okay, Templar Axion, it's called Axion, so I can find it with that name. Let me try Voyagers 2 first, and then I'll put it on screen. Templar Axion! Oh, come on! So it's not in Voyagers 1 or 2. Okay, I must be spelling it wrong. So I will just look for Axion because I know there's something called Axion, right? Yeah, there's 31 results. Oh my gosh, dude, I was trying to do Axions. Oh, so there's a hyphen after Templar. PDF wouldn't find it for me. Those bearing the Templar Axion seal could eventually pass into Tara and enter incarnations. So that's how you spell it. So let me show on the screen, guys. These are DNA blocks. And I also have some diagrams to share some of the DNA blocks that might be on there. So thanks for your patience, you guys, as I set this up. Files, raw, YouTube live. Chihuahua. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys. It wasn't opening in my Photoshop. I'm gonna change that real quick. How you guys doing? Write in the comments. I missed you guys on Saturday. I wish I could have done both, but once a month I'm gonna go to those drum circles. They're freaking awesome. I wanna take Julia to it on May, so hopefully she'll come with me. Yeah, now it's going to open in Photoshop. Okay, so let me switch to PDF, you guys. Templar Axion, let me go to the top. It says no results, but there's 28 results. Let me see. The Templar seal. There's one called the Templar seal. But so the Templar Axion is different. Templar Axion, the Templar seal, as the first alteration became known, was implemented 10,000 years ago and represented a 6-dimensional seal. So this isn't a very strong seal. It has stopped some of the incarnating indigos. Because an indigo is 6-dimensional, third eye is the 6th chakra. But if they put a seal on that, you're not going to freaking ascend to the 5th dimension. Here's another concept I gotta straighten out real quick. So let me go back real quick. This is something important to understand, you guys. Okay, we're living a life here, right? In the 3rd dimension. People call it 3D. The Guardians would call it D3, D4, D5, dimension. D stands for dimension. But people say 3D, whatever. So just realize it means 3rd dimension of reality. The 3rd dimension out of 15 dimensions. Humans are in the 3rd dimension of reality. So we're not the bodies that are existing in the 3rd dimension. Okay? If you're the body, what's thinking? What's imagining? Is it the body? No, it's not. You are not the body. You are the 4th dimensional consciousness. Indwelling, embodying the 3rd dimensional body. So your consciousness is always 1 dimension higher than your physical body and physical experience. So we're in physical bodies having a physical experience in the 3rd dimension, and because your consciousness is in the 4th dimension. Your consciousness is invisible because it's not in the same scalar fields as your body. It is the higher scalar 4th dimensional astral consciousness, for example, 4D, D4, that's inside a 3D, D3 body. That's who you really are. You're the 4th dimensional consciousness, not the 3-dimensional body. The body is a vehicle for the consciousness. It's a shell for the consciousness. It is the shell, it is the consciousness the fourth dimensional or fifth dimensional or sixth dimensional consciousness that is thinking in this world. You are already in, technically at that level, in that dimension. But part of you, a fragment of you, a fallen fragment of you is down here. And so we go through spiritual ascension to go back. To return back this piece, fragment, what they call return back to source. Your source is in the second universe, the fourth dimension, or fifth or sixth. See, there's 15 dimensions. Every three, so 3, 6, 9, every 3 dimensions is a separate matter density universe. So we're in the first matter density universe called carbon matter. Dimensions 1, 2, and 3. We exist, and there's a barrier. You can't go to the second universe unless you have the DNA. Okay? So you can't go to the fourth dimension, which is in the second universe. The second universe is dimensions 4, 5, and 6. It's called a magnetic repulsion zone. You see all this BS in sci-fi science fiction movies like Star Trek or Star Wars? You go light speed to get somewhere? Well, you can get somewhere, but you're not getting to the higher reality fields called dimensions. You can't go to the higher dimensions unless you have the DNA encryption in your consciousness, in your template, DNA template. So being good doesn't make you ascend, you guys. You literally need this keys, the DNA keys. You literally need. So I'm trying to explain that the context first. There's 5 universes. One with dimensions 1, 2, and 3. Second universe, dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Okay, the third universe and beyond. We don't need to explain the higher universes because we're just dealing with the first and the second universe, dimensions 1 through 6. Okay, so if we're in 3D, our next ascension would be, for example, most humans would be 4D, but that's in another universe, in another dimension. And you can't get there unless you can't get there physically. Because remember, your consciousness is always one dimension higher than the body. So you can't become physical into the 4D unless you have one strand higher, would be 5D. So you would need 5 strands of consciousness to be physical in the 4D. Do you understand? Write it in the comments if you don't understand that. Okay, so most humans, okay, you'll even hear Ashana talk about this in the early workshops. Most humans only have between 2.5, that means halfway, 2.5 strands and 3.5 strands. So most humans are between 2.5 to 3.5 strands. But remember, if you want to be physical in the 4D, you would need 5 strands. But there's something called inner earth, where you don't need 5 strands, you only need 4.5 strands because it's in 3.5 dimension. And so, see, that's above 3D. We're limited. Human life and all life that's in this first universe is limited to 3.0. Inner earth is in 3.5. And if you want to ascend to the 3.5 dimension, which is in the second universe, you would need 4.5 strands. So that's the minimum. This is a spiritual science. You could even have some disagreement in these Christic teachings saying that I'm wrong. You guys, whatever your opinion is in these Christic teachings, you literally cannot It's impossible. This is why I even put it in the title or description. It's impossible for most people. It's impossible to get to the fourth dimension without 5 strands. But we're not talking about 4D anymore. We're talking about 4.5 dimension, 3.5 embodied. Consciousness is 4.5. 4.5 strands will get you to the 3.5 dimension. If you want to go to 5D physically, you would need 6 dimensions or 6 strands of DNA, which is chakras 1, 2, 3, 4, heart chakra, throat chakra, and the third eye chakra activated. This is why most indigo children and starseeds already have that DNA when they come to Earth. Just so you know, most people, in the secret space program, have these strands of DNA. These My Lab programs are not kidnapping normal humans with 2.5 to 3.5 strands. They want the psychic indigos and starseeds who have more, who can contribute to the secret space programs. I talk about the secret space program because it's part of our awakening and ascension. What's happening in those programs is affecting all humans, literally. So they're connected. They're important. The secret space program disclosure is important. I'm fighting for that, as well as some of my other brothers and sisters. When we go to these conferences, we're talking about disclosure. We're talking about aliens. We're talking about UFOs. We're talking about these super hyper advanced technologies that the Earth, secret Earth governments, secret Earth militaries have. They have science fiction type technologies. They are going into beyond our solar system. I'm going to start a new series. I've already started Secret Space Program, but I want to do one just Secret Space Program shorts. So I have Alien Life shorts, I have Anunnaki shorts, and I'm going to have a third one called Secret Space Program shorts, which defines who I am, which defines what Christos avatar is. Just saying. Which is also part of these teachings. And Ashiana makes reference, the Guardians make reference to these programs, secret space programs, in the teachings, in the books, but they don't call it SSP. They don't call it secret space program. They have their own terminology. So, let me lay down some more frankincense real quick. So you got a bunch of false New Age beliefs and ideas that you just have to behave or open your third eye and you're going to ascend. No, it doesn't work that way, homie. You can't open your 6th chakra, third eye, it's called, without first opening your 4th and 5th, which they don't even talk about. They just want to jump right to the 6th dimension, which will make them physical in the 5th dimension. As I just explained for 20 minutes. Forgot my amber. Every single DNA strand represents a dimension of the 15-dimensional time matrix. Let me say that again. There's 15 dimensions in the 15-dimensional time matrix. DNA strand 3 is connected to the 3rd dimension. If you have 4 DNA strands, the 4th strand connects you to the 4th dimension. And just so you know, another part of this whole thing about awakening to an ascension is that we are super hybrids. Humans are being hybridized by the Guardians. And people can make comments and disagree and have some ideas from the occult They'll have some ideas and comments from the New Age. You guys, this is a positive thing, a good thing, not a distorted thing. Is there some distorted hybridization program? Sure. Not the Guardians, which were trying to recreate the angelic human template to rescue the fallen to rescue the fallen souls from the explosion in Atlantis and Lemuria that caused cataclysm, that caused some of the soul consciousnesses, soul essences to fall into lower temporal levels. And the only way you can reclaim those disembodied souls is by creating bodies for them. And that's exactly what we're doing. You create the genetic hybridization so these disembodied souls can go into them. And now they can become aware and awake as a baby, as a toddler, as an adult, go through a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening process, activate the dormant DNA that's been built by one of the previous guardian root races or starseed races. You see, we had to rebuild strand 1 with the Hyperbornians and the Polarian race, which is connected to dimension 1. And then the second DNA strand was done through the Lemurian race, which is connected to the second dimension. The third strand is connected to the Atlantean race, which is connected to the third dimension. So your DNA strand 3 is connected to your experience and your incarnations in the Atlantean root race, also called Earthseed race. Lemurians is another Earthseed race, or you call them root races. Root race is the same thing as Earthseed. So the root races are creating the DNA steps. First, the Hyperbornians, Polarian were the first step. And then the second step is the Lemurians, 75,000 years ago. Atlanteans, 70,000 years ago. So we did this step, strand 1, then we did strand 2, then we did strand 3. Okay? Those are currently, remember, most humans are between 2.5 and 3.5 strands. Okay? But if you want to go, see, if they're here, but you need to be here for 4.5 to go to inner earth. And if you want to go to Tara, you need to get 5 strands. If you want to be in the 5th dimension, you need 6 strands. Remember, your consciousness is always one level higher than your body is. So if you want to be physical in the 5D, then you need 6 strands. If you want to be physical in the astral 4D, you need 5 strands. And if it's 4.5, that means you need 5.5. If you want to go 5.5, you need 6.5. Always need 1 strand higher to be physical where you want to be. Where we're returning to, where we need to return to, which is done naturally, organically, but not anymore because of the fallen angelics messing with us, or naturally you would develop 4 strands and go to the 5th dimension. Or your consciousness would. And your body would go to the 4th dimension. We're in 3D, trying to get the 4th strand. So as soon as you get that 4th strand, you can now ascend. But now, because of blocks in our DNA, we need 4.5 strands. 4.5. I'm trying to do half. You need 4.5 to get to inner earth, to get the hell out of here, to get out of the 3.0 or lower earth. You need 4.5 strands because of the freaking. We would only need 4 strands if it wasn't for blocks, which I was trying to show you in the PDF, but I had to create this context for you to understand it. So let me show you a couple diagrams to go a little bit farther. Let me check for donations, you guys. Machiwa, holy ones. Jasna, Star Sister. Thank you so much for your donation, beloved one. You've been a regular here. You've been supporting my work for these years. Thank you so much. If you were here, I'd give you a great big bear hug. Thank you so much. We would love to have you meet us in Sedona. Much love. Machiwa, she says. Machiwa to you, Star Sister. Travis Garden. I'm supposed to only say your first name. Sorry. Travis, Holy One. And he left a message. Machiwa. Machiwa to you. Thank you for supporting this work. Much respect. And 1 minute ago, Andrea Walton. Machiwa, Andrea! Woohoo! She wrote a comment with love, Holy One. Keep up the great work. Thank you for your positive vibrations. Look at that, 999. That's triple. 3 times 3. That's triple trinities. 3 nines. 3 triple trinities. Much respect for that code. I will keep up the great work, Holy One. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, beloveds. So that's how I stay alive, you guys, and keep on doing this full time. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I wanted to show you some diagrams. Let me check on chat. Let me check for comments or questions. Wow. Okay, thank you, Giannis, baby. Christos Avatar, can you tell us how many Emerald Orders there are? And can you tell me your thoughts about Rainbow Ray descendant from 48D Emerald Order to go through? There's some distortion in there, but yeah, I'll address your questions. Barno Barry Batsbach, 1471. Thank you so much for your question, Holy One. First of all, there's only one Emerald Order. And let me show you the Emerald Order in the 15-dimensional time matrix. They're in the 13th dimension. So let me open it. I thought it was already open, but let me open it real quick. And that's what these teachings are coming from. They're coming from the blue flame Emerald Elohai. It's called Elohai. They're the highest consciousness. Even though they're 13D, it would take me a half hour to explain why they're the highest when there's a 14D, 15D. When the entry point, they came in first and then expanded to the 14th-D, which expanded to the 15D, portions of consciousness, life beings. But Holy Elohai is always going to be the highest, the strongest, the most powerful, the blue flame, gold flame, violet flame. It's even explained as the gold flame. Just ignore the numbers for now on the density 5 because it's hard to understand. But the actual blue flame is the largest. The gold flame is inside the blue flame. And the violet flame is the smallest inside the gold flame, which is inside the blue flame. Or blue sphere, gold sphere, violet sphere. It's spherical. They're spherical. And so, just show the diagram real quick. Oh my gosh, dude. Opening in photos instead of Photoshop. JPEGs, PNGs, I gotta do both of them. Change to Photoshop, please. Thank you very much. What's with this, man? You know how I have like 50 windows open? I gotta close some of them sometimes, What can I close, you guys? Well, something I'm not using, but I'm using all of these. I'll just close this window, okay? All right. Who is the Emerald Order? What the crap, man? I have this open in Photoshop. Why isn't it opening? I have this open, man. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Right? What's up with this? This is OBS issue. Let me open up another window capture and make it technical stuff. Photos, Photoshop. Where's Photoshop, dude? I don't know why you guys this started happening, and why it doesn't want to cooperate. Who knows? I'm gonna try it one more time. It's not even showing up. Photoshop is not even showing up. So I give up. I won't mess. Waste your time anymore. Let me open my diagram in the PDF. Some gremlins in the works. So I can remove Photoshop and then put PDF on. There's my diagram. Okay, so we got 15-dimensional time matrix, 15 dimensions of reality. And who came first? The Holy Elohai. Holy Elohai, blue flame. They're the Emerald Order. Emerald Order. And it is the Emerald Order who created the highest level beings in the lower densities. I gotta switch to the pan tool, hand tool, I mean. So you see the blue flame, because these are blue colored races. They were in the 12th dimension, the highest in the incarnated dimensions. And so they also created the Anu. Notice the gold flame races are lower in the 10th dimension. The violet flame races are in the 11th dimension. So the highest was the blue flame Anuhazi feline cat people, like you see in the movie Avatar, blue skinned cat beings. Then there was the Anu feline aquatic apes, and other races who in the 3rd density, the 2nd density. I got the densities right here. We're in carbon matter, Earth. That's first universe. Remember I told you each one has 3 dimensions, 1, 2, 3. The second universe has dimensions 4, 5, 6. But to answer your question, there's only one Emerald Order. As you can see. So. And your thoughts about Rainbow Ray? We're not the New Age. The New Age maybe came up with that idea, but the only thing that would be considered rainbow would be races that include DNA from the Kira and the Kundera, which is density 5 in the 15-dimensional time matrix, and one of the ascended master levels, but we don't call it, we call it the Janus levels, which are the cosmic matrix. Okay, we're in the universal matrix that's dimensionalized and holographic, which is spirit becoming manifest. Okay, all the higher God worlds are just spiritual conscious beings, and so that rainbow ray would be any beings that have the DNA all the way up to the ascended master levels coming into the time matrix. So more than likely it's the Ayani or indigo children, type 2 and type 3. Indigo type 3s are limited to the 5th density, so they don't have that rainbow ray. And also your last thing, there isn't 48 dimensions. You heard me say over and over again 15. Anything over 15 is a distortion. Now 48, you can have 48 strands of DNA, but not because there's 48 dimensions, but because you have DNA potential in the particle matrix and the antiparticle matrix and the 3 levels of Ascended Master. You can get up to 48 strands. So let me show you the diagram again to help explain that. Which is on PDF. So this is the, I'm trying to stabilize this, sorry. This is the 15-dimensional time matrix. But there's also a parallel side, an antiparticle matrix that also has, so you can get DNA strands from this side and the other, some more DNA strands here. So, but there's also ability, oh man, this thing is such a pain. This is why I want to do this in Photoshop, but I got to switch between tools to make this work. But there's also DNA strands in this level and this level. This is where we all originate from, the Eckhart. Eckhart consciousness would put 12 down here. Those 12 have 12 each, would create 12 down here. Those 12 would create 12 in the time matrix. Those 12 would create 12, 12, 12, 12. So you can have, for example, your larger family can have 144 life incarnations here, 144 incarnations here, and 144 here, 144 here, 144 here, but also double that because of all of the levels in the parallel, and then add in the DNA strands from here and the DNA strands from there. It adds up to 1,728 incarnations, or 45 DNA strands. But there isn't 48 dimensions. Just making that correction. There's only 15 dimensions. All right, so we got Aaron Darvish. What's the meaning of the 144,000? Well, that's more of a, well, actually, let's look at this together in the Voyager's PDF, okay? And let's see what 144 comes up with. Let me switch back to PDF. Good question, by the way. Let me see if there is something called 144,000. I got to type it right. Yeah, there is. There's 9 results. So these are called, yeah, I know exactly what this is. So this is old information under the bridge zone. We're no longer in the bridge zone. This was ruined by fallen angelics. So this is, oh wow, interesting. It's on page 144. That's pretty freaking cool. Awesome. I love that synchrony. I claim that. Let's claim that together, you guys. So bridge zone mechanics is no longer going to work. So this whole thing is not going to work, but this is old information. And there's a certain amount of consciousness that needed to be assembled 4.5 strand. A certain percentage needed to have the 5th strand, and specifically 144 individuals who needed to create the 6th strand on Earth. Okay, you saw it right there in Voyager's books. Okay, for the ascension to happen for Earth, for Earth's ascension, and for the rising of consciousness, you needed a certain, because remember, most humans are between 2.5 and 3.5. How is that going to make consciousness go upward? You can't. You can't speed up the particle speed or the consciousness. So this is why we have star seeds and indigos incarnating with 4 strands. You just saw it in Voyagers with Some of them, there's even less of us coming with 5 strands, and even a lot less of us, 144,000, that have 6-strand activation. But I don't think that means there's only 144,000 people who can activate the third eye. That's ridiculous. That we have more than that now. Obviously, in these space programs, and people around the world awakening have gotten up to the third eye. That's old information. That's 25 years old, literally. Okay, it's 2026. That was written in 2001. The first book. She had already written it, or actually it wasn't her, it was the Guardians who wrote it, and she translated it. In 1998 she started. But anyways, yeah, that's over 25 years old. So are you one of those people, one of those 144,000? Whether they were needed in the Bridge Zone project, they're most likely incarnated here. How many of you, write in the comments if you have third eye activation? Are you clairvoyant? Can you see visions? Can you see higher selves? In the form of spirit guides or ETs or angels, which are ETs. And so, hopefully that answers your question. There's specific people who have 6 strands activated, which is not many people on the planet Earth when you consider that most humans, there's 8 billion humans. And I say humans, Earth seeds, not star seeds who have 4, 5, or 6 strands already. Humans are trying to get 4 or higher. Starseeds and indigos already have this DNA when they incarnate. But there's all kinds of problems happening down here where some of that consciousness is cut off as soon as you incarnate into the fetus of your pregnant mother. That consciousness, that fetus is already shutting off. Not the fetus being a fetus, but the grid of Earth. The grid of Earth is shutting off the consciousness, not the fetus, sorry. Coming into the Earth system, you're only getting a small percentage of that incoming consciousness that goes and becomes a baby. So we're very, very limited, you guys, by the time we come in. We're not coming with our full power. Going on a spiritual journey, you're trying to reclaim your power while you're in the 3D body vehicle, and you're bringing in more consciousness. Tonight's topic is about bringing in more consciousness so you can ascend. To answer your question, 144,000 where you needed a specific amount, a minimum of 144,000 to have up to their 6-strand activation. We've done that part, but we still need a certain amount of other blocks taken care of in the DNA for the other humans to ascend. But that's who the 144,000 were. They purposely incarnated here to help in the ascension process of Earth and for the humans. So, start Earthseeds. Do you work with Indigo Angel as well? I don't know who Indigo Angel. Isn't that one of Christos Avatar, or one of the usernames? It's a username. I'm not familiar exactly who you're referring to. I don't know everybody on a personal level. I'm not working with anybody, just so you know. All my videos are coming from my work. I have over 750,000 subscribers. I'm not working with anybody. That's all coming from my work. I work 7 days a week. I work 100 hours plus a week. 7 days a week, 100 hours plus a week. No one is helping me, Holy One. I'm doing all this by myself. Giannis, will you please tell Anahazi none of his links have been working? Lauren Wisdom, I hope you're listening, Lauren, because I already answered you last week. The links do work for people using a computer. Okay, so let me repeat that. She's talking about links in my videos, my shorts, my video shorts or whatever. The links, you're right, the links do not work if you're on the app. If you're on your cell phone, those links will not work. If you're on a computer, like me, and like lots of other people who are on a computer, the links will work. The links do not work on the app, on a smartphone. The link, oh, it's not working. Why? Because YouTube doesn't allow links anymore to work on their apps. It has to do with when shorts, people were manipulating or creating problems. So YouTube just cut it off. You don't believe me? Just check in Google. Why don't YouTube links? Why don't app links work on YouTube? Look, you guys. I still put links because there's still people using computers like me. Every time you tell me the links aren't working, well, it worked for me, Holy One. I don't know how many times I got to explain that because I've said it more than once. Good question, though, because maybe it's frustrating. I get it. Just so you know, what am I linking, by the way? My playlists. So you can go see the other videos in my playlist. So you can easily go to my channel and go to my playlist area. That's a workaround. It's not as convenient as clicking a link, but you just go to my page, click on my username, and you will see a place for my playlists. And then go into my playlist. That's all I'm trying to share is my playlist so people can, binge all my other videos in that playlist. But also it's people who want to see other alien life videos. So I gave the playlist for the alien life videos. That's all it is. It's just playlist. And Zen Piano. Christos Avatar TV, does your information say anything about solar activity? 0. Nothing. There isn't going to be an end of the world with solar flash. I remember Ishmael Perez was big on that. It's not coming from the Guardians, you guys. There is no solar flash. It's not going to create an ascension. That's what some people in New Age think. That solar flash is going to happen, and everybody's going to ascend. And as your brother Anhazi, some people in the secret space program think, oh, everybody is going to, awaken. No, we're not. We're not all ascending. We're not. The sun isn't going to help you grow magically your DNA strands, which is done through consciousness, not through the help of the sun, or not through the help of 3-Eye Atlas. Look that one up. So many New Agers believe they're going to save us. So many people think the Galactic Fed is going to save you. You guys, the Galactic Fed and the sun, 3-Eye Atlas, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Enoch, Thoth, the Anunnaki, reptilians, nothing is going to help you ascend. Let me repeat that again. Nothing can help you ascend. Only you can do the DNA activation yourself. You can't borrow that. You can't steal that. You can't buy that. You can only go through the hard work, and it is hard work on earth because we're under spiritual bondage. Well, we're being ruled. We're being ruled by religions and fallen angels. Now I can bring my microphone back in. Planet Earth is in spiritual bondage because of religions, which are not guardian systems. They're not spiritual awakening, ascending systems. They're falling. Humans are falling. Billions of humans are falling because of religion. Straight up. Religions are obedience, subservience systems. They are kundalini life force stealing systems. That is what worship is. You're feeding phantom consciousness. You're making phantoms stronger and bigger. Machiwa. Transmute, holy ones. Transmute religion and religious consciousness, religious thinking, religious believing. Transmute it in the world from your life. We're not forcing other people to believe what we believe. We're transmuting. We're not going to your door. Jehovah's Witness, believe in Lord Jehovah, Yahweh. No. We're planting seeds. That's all guardians can do. We're not helping you sin. We're not saviors. This is why a lot of people are thinking, why doesn't God save us? If the guardians are good, benevolent beings, why aren't they saving us? You guys, save your matrices. Save your principles. Ideas are fallen angelic. You don't rely on someone to save us, save you. The fallen beings are doing what they're doing because we allowed it with our free will. This is karma, man. This is personal karma. What's going to save you from your own karma? What's going to save us as a race of people from our own human racial karma? The planetary karma, the galactic karma, the universal karma. God doesn't step in and save you. You are God. What's up? You don't need no blood ritual sacrificed, mutilated savior to wash away your sins. It's disgusting. It's deplorable, man. It's fallen angelic narratives and teachings and false light creeds. No one's saving you. You save yourself by going on a spiritual journey. Become God, sovereign, free, baby. That means you understand the inner Christos. The inner Christos is your direct vertical connection to Source, God, Creator. There ain't no middleman. And let me get that straight. There is nothing between you and God. There is no savior between you and God. There is no archangel between you and God. There's no galactic federation gonna save you between you and Source. Nothing is between you and Source. There has never been a separation between you and Source. You are in a 15-dimensional time matrix, and you fell to a lower level, and we're trying to ascend back to the higher level. And it takes effort. It takes work because we're in spiritual bondage. There is a ton of distortions on earth because of the fallen angels attacking us for human seeding 1, human seeding 2, human seeding 3. They attacked us in parallel earth. This is an ongoing effort. It's not easy to awaken. It's not easy to ascend. We got blocks in our DNA. We got false teachings that people are blindly following. Or maybe just they're innocent and they don't know the difference between New Age, astrology, tarot cards, scrying, divination, invocating spirits. They don't know better. But that doesn't solve the problem. This is one incarnation of yours. You have 1,728 incarnations. This incarnation maybe is entangled into religion. Maybe this incarnation out of 1,728 incarnations, maybe this current incarnation of yours is stuck in New Age, is stuck in the occult, is stuck in some false light, or maybe doesn't even believe in God or anything. So you're stuck in that. You're stuck in reincarnation. That is a bad thing. You're not supposed to reincarnate. I didn't ascend. Oh, come alive again. Reincarnate. I don't ascend again. You're stuck in this pattern. Humans are stuck in repeating. You guys, this is bad. You're supposed to naturally. Normally, it's not natural. right now. Normally, you ascend one life after another. You don't repeat incarnating. That's a bad thing. That's failing kindergarten over and over. You're still in kindergarten? You're repeating the first grade again and again, the second grade, the third grade. You're stuck in third grade, man. The third dimension. You're stuck in third grade over and over and over. You don't know it because when you die, you forget. The memory isn't going over. Remember, your consciousness, your memory is cutting off every time you incarnate on Earth. That's not natural. It wouldn't be very helpful if we remembered everything that happened in our past lives. You can. Let me tell you how you can incarnate, how you can ascend, right? Are we done with the questions yet, though? Let me check. Let me check for donations, holy ones, and more questions. No more donations. Please, you guys, holy ones, save your brother Anohazi. Literally, I need rescue. Because, I'll just be transparent. I'll be transparent. I wasn't making a lot of money. People maybe thought I was rich. I was only making around $1,500 on YouTube. $1,500. Will that pay your rent? Okay? My rent is more than that. But when I got $1,500 of my income gone, I'm relying on your donations, you guys, until I can resolve this or replace this lost income. They're never going to accept me back. YouTube will not accept me back into their paid program because of my Anunnaki content. They're not telling me what it is. I have to guess. So that's my best guess. They cut me off because of censorship of the Anunnaki content. Or maybe they have some problem with the alien life content, which is completely peaceful. Peaceful. No dialogue. I can't break a rule in those alien life videos. They're just peaceful aliens and they're beautiful. I've had people leave comments saying this is so beautiful. It's so relaxing. And by the way, YouTube, all of my views are coming from my Anunnaki videos and all of my alien life videos. I got 1 million views, almost 2 million now on my Anunnaki videos. And you're trying to tell me that is not good for your paid programming? There is something wrong here. Something is not matching here. Not to mention, they will not tell me what I did wrong. It's a secret. If you get thrown in jail, they tell you exactly what you did wrong so you don't do it again or you can fix it. How can I fix the problem, YouTube, if you don't tell me what it is and I can't fix it when I don't know what it is? You see what I'm saying? Machiwa. Yeah, Zen Piano, there's no information about solar flash. That's all New Age stuff. You don't have to worry about the sun. The sun ain't going nowhere. It's not going to destroy Earth. I guarantee you there ain't nothing going to happen with the sun. It has to do with other alien species and other beings who they're not going to allow something to happen with when they live on the planet too. There's all kinds of underground life forms, man, that are more advanced than us. We're not the only ones living on Earth. We think we're these alpha beings and we have the right to murder and eat animals and we're the kings of the castle. No, you are not. It shows you what humans don't know and don't understand. Well, this is why I encourage you guys. I encourage you to get informed in the secret space program information. It debunks religions too, man. The religion is BS. It is freaking a curse on the human race. And this is not where we came from. We didn't come from Father God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, or any of these ET gods who are pissed off, angry, negative creatures. Did you notice? All these supposed gods are murderous, kidnappers, rapers. They're horrible conscious beings calling themselves gods. Get a clue. The secret space program talks about all of these different life forms and beings inside the crust of the earth. Let me repeat myself. There are advanced life forms and other types of life forms, much that humans have no idea inside the freaking, you won't call it inner earth, but that's what they're calling it. It's not inner earth. It's hollow spaces in the crust that have their own light. Let me repeat that. These underground, you think it's pitch dark, you can't see nothing. BS. That's the ignorance of mainstream science. That's your ignorant assumptions. There is life of light sources down there. And it's all described by the secret space program about how the different organisms have light and how they have their own ecosystems. You know, one of the most recent videos I watched was talking about how some of there's veins of the lava, so there's pockets of life that are being heated up. I mean, they can live. They have their own ecosystems. It's absolutely marvelous how much life exists. Emery Smith was talking about mosquitoes as big as cars, man. Down in those pockets of ecosystems and life forms. It is awakening. It is DNA activating when you learn some of the secret space program information. This is your brother Anhazi sharing this. You're not going to hear Ashana saying that, but your brother Anhazi is saying that. What drives and reminds me? It's just a good question. Connor's Conquest. He asked, what drives and reminds you to continue work on Earth? It's just inside your soul. It is driving force. It's a driving force, even if you don't understand it completely. Like a lot of us are awakening to our true potential and to our calling, to our mission. You know, you guys, if you are a starseeder indigo, you don't need to be here. Earth is about creating your strand 4. You don't need to create the fourth strand. Excuse me. You already have it. Indigos have fourth. Well, according to Oshana, even indigos, because there's a block in Stargate 4, the Guardian, remember, Stargates are connected to your DNA strands, and they created blocks in the fourth Stargate, which is in Giza Plateau, Egypt, underneath the pyramid. Underneath the pyramid is the Stargate, not a portal, not a vortex. It's a literal Stargate 4, which affects the fourth strand of DNA. So even indigos have to develop their fourth strand, but they do have 5 strand and 6 strand. Now, what Ashiana said in her own personal journey, you can hear her talk about her own activation of her fourth strand in Kathara. In Kathara, she explained that she had a near-death experience, and when she returned, it activated her fourth heart strand. That's her story. You can learn about it. It doesn't mean you have to have a near-death experience to open your fourth strand. Excuse me. Sorry, human crap. We need to, if you're visiting, if you're a starseed or an indigo, you have the higher strands, the fifth and third eye. Most of us have developed our fourth strand organically through love and omni-love, through loving all, through unity, it's a consciousness that you activate within your own life journey. Okay? But you also can use triadic phase currents, which is what I'm going to be mentioning and talking about. You need to do... Guardians have brought this technology to reverse some of the reverse DNA so you can ascend. There is technology. Think about it. There must be technology. There is spiritual energy technology that you can do to fix this problem. So you're not stuck in reincarnation. And I encourage all of you to learn Kathara biospiritual healing. Even if you've already done it, you guys, one of my moderators, please put it in the chat. The PDF for Kathara. And you can find the Kathara workshop, which is 20 hours long. It takes that long to explain the most advanced Ascension teachings on the planet. And part of Kathara will introduce you to your Merkaba. Not the reverse Merkaba in New Age, which Voyagers mentions. The exact reverse rate that the New Age is teaching you. Where you want to learn the correct Merkaba spin, the correct direction, the top, the bottom, the spinning star tetrahedron. You want to know the rates and the directions, okay? Not the reverse ones. So I encourage you guys to learn Kathara biospiritual healing. Our moderators are sharing the PDF. It's going to take... You guys don't want to just limit yourself to the PDF. It's kind of hard to understand. You want to watch the Kathara biospiritual healing workshop. It's in my membership. I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm putting the workshops in my membership area. I plan on putting all of them from the beginning, which is 1998, starting with the Amente series. I plan on putting them all in there because I'm sick and tired. I can't share links when they don't exist because they're taken down. They're being taken down. And if anything, you will only find a little bit. Like, they don't put the entire 20-hour workshop. I did. I can't put it on YouTube. I'll get my freaking channel taken down. So I put it in the members area, you guys, if you want to, or you can try to find it on your own. Look on YouTube, look on BitChute, look on Telegram. You'll find someone shared it there. If you want to become one of my members, you can find it for free somewhere. Good luck. It's not easy. But we do share the PDF right here with you guys, but it takes more than the PDF is confusing. It doesn't even start you off as a beginner. It starts grading. It just jumps right into dimensions and the holographic structure of reality. It talks about the Huva bodies. It might just be over most people's heads. So I encourage you to find the workshop, join my membership. It's there. So. Thank you for that question, Connors. It's just a burning passion inside of me when I connected to these teachings. It wasn't until I saw Carrie Cassidy interviewing Ashiana Dean. That's where most of us learned about Ashiana. Most of you would have never heard of Ashiana Dean if you didn't know, if it wasn't for Carrie. Because Ashiana's group stays private and no one knows about them. Except for now, Carrie Cassidy brought Ashiana and the work to the world. Bless Carrie Cassidy. I've seen her in person 3 times. I'll be speaking on stage with her in Las Vegas and at the Alien event in Las Vegas, you guys, in October. I'll be right there with Carrie. So, but anyways, it wasn't for Carrie. She's the one that did the original interview that brought the awareness of the Emerald Order teachings. Now there's workshops. Now because of that, now people found the workshops. Now people uploaded the workshops. But now it's censored. It's hardcore censored by Ashiana herself. By her corporation and her trademarks and copyrights. BS, man. You can't do that with Guardian CDT plate knowledge. It's universal knowledge. There's no corporate ownership over that knowledge, over Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, over the angelic human heritage. There's no copyright. Come on. I'll rebel against that. So, anyways, yeah. Could you talk about Ascended Masters going dark in the universe? Christos Avatar TV. Okay, so first we need to explain what is an Ascended Master, because there is going to be some distorted ideas out there, just like there's distorted ideas about angels, distorted ideas about Ascended Masters. Of course, there's going to be plenty of distortions about what is an Ascended Master. Ascended Master does not originate from the 15-dimensional time matrix. Ascended Masters are what we call Yanas. Yanas are the beings who exist outside of the hologram fields. And one of these Yanas will come into our 15-dimensional time matrix, and it becomes a spectrum. You cannot fit that consciousness into one avatar body. It has to be put into 1,728 bodies, identities, incarnations. So a Janus comes in and it comes a spectrum of consciousness in 1,728 time vectors. This time matrix is 950 billion years old. So there's many time vectors, many time frames that your avatar can fragment into. So a Ascended Master comes in, drops his consciousness in all these levels, and there has to be a spiritual reclaiming of those levels. Each one of those identities, 1,720 identities, they have to find their way back. One of those is you, me, brother, sister. We're one of those avatar identities out of 1,728 of our family. Our family is, I have a family, they call it a personal Christos. I have a personal Christos of 1,728. You have a personal Christos of 1,728. We're all here. We came into Earth. Well, not all these Ascended Masters come to Earth. You know, there's all kinds of planets. There's trillions, quadrillions of planets and life forms out there that they can go become a part of. Not just Earth. So an Ascended Master comes in, and they, in order to leave, they have to reclaim all that life. All their fragments and pieces have to come back to the original level, Christos Avatar level. The original level is your Christos Avatar level. That is your perfect blueprint. There is a part of you that is perfect. No distortion, no polarization. That's your Christos Avatar level. My channel name. I borrowed that term to create this frequency of this channel. Bless this Emerald Order teachings. And I'm a student of that teaching. My middle name is now Christos. You know, every one of you Americans can legally change your name to a blessed name instead of a fallen angelic name. I was born with a fallen angelic name. As soon as I went into these teachings, I said, F that! I'm going to legally change my name, and I legally changed my name. I ain't staying with no freaking frequency for the rest of my life when I'm very aware. I'm very aware that Michael is a fallen angelic name. No, thank you. I don't think so. And when you women divorce your husband and you get a new name, marry a man, that's the custom. Me and Julia are not having a normal wedding. Those are contracts in there. If you're going to get married, I recommend you guys watch the Sacred Sexuality video workshop series by Emerald Order. And they will teach you about what marriage really is. That's how me and my twin flame are going to do it. We're not doing the court document thing. And we're going to work it out. We will work it out what we're doing. But we ain't doing no contracts. You know, contracts are freaking the dark side. So, Janus is one that came in and can go out. When it returns and reclaims all of its 1,728 selves and leaves the time matrix, now they became an ascended being. They descended and ascended. Now they, because not all these yanas have done that yet. They don't need to. You don't need to become an ascended master. But that's what these beings are. They're called yanas. Y-A-N-A-N. Y-A-N-A-S. Yanas. Yanas. It's an Anuhazi word. It means ascended master, but we don't use the ascended master word. It's been so butchered down here. Just like the word God has been butchered down here. Now people have no idea what's God. Now people have no idea what's ascended master. Well, I just explained it. And let me show you what the yanas are on my 15-dimensional time matrix diagram in PDF. Switch to PDF. Good questions, by the way. And you guys, I sell this PDF. This is one of the things I survive off of. Survive. I live in a poor house. I don't have a lot of money or belongings. I don't even have furniture, except I finally got a bed. Only because of my girlfriend, and we needed a bed, obviously. I don't have a couch, but I did get a chair for her. She knows. She can tell you, I have no furniture here. I'm not rich. Okay, so anyways, this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, and all this is the time matrix. Notice there's levels outside the time matrix. Those are the ascended master levels, but they're really called yanas levels. And there's 3 levels of that. The grande yanas, the highest level. The ekar level. Ekar. Asha Nadine is one of these grande yanas. She's an ekar, according to her. So there's also the middle level called the vachayanas. Notice the word yanas in there. So there's the grande yanas, vacha yanas, and ram yanas. So those are ascended master beings, or you're not really technically an ascended master until one of them comes into our 15-dimensional time matrix. And there's 24 of these, you guys. We're just one of these matrices. So one ascended master, one yanas comes in and makes a spectrum of consciousness all the way down, 1,728 identities. And now all of those identities have to be reclaimed, returned back to its source, reclaimed back to its avatar that it came incarnated with. So that's what these ascended masters are. They're cosmic beings. Cosmos is not the same as universe. This is the cosmos. Kundalini, life force energy, the primal sound fields. There is no light. Light is in the matrix. This is sound-based consciousness. And so sound, cymatics is very profound when you think about it. Sound is part of our matrix, but it's based on the light structure as well. So that's what Ascended Master is. Just to make it a brief explanation, it comes from these higher guided worlds. So they're not native to the 15-dimensional time matrix. They come into the time matrix and create life down here, and then they leave when they can or want to or whatever. So we're going to go for 30 more minutes, you guys. Glad to have you here on your Tuesday evening with us. So Zen Piano disagrees. I agree to disagree on the sun. The sun is a mirror that reflects your inner light. Bless you, brother. We can still get along and be peaceful and be friends. According to the Guardians, people have no idea what is the sun. The sun is not what you think it is. Not even close. And even the secret space program will tell you the sun is not what we think it is. So if you got 3D people, which they're not all 3D people, right? Even the 3D secret space program are going to tell you the sun is not what we think it is. A lot of ideas about the sun are coming from the occult and from New Age. It's not what we think it is. And I'll leave it at that and still, be friendly. Thank you for those questions, Giannis. I appreciate you putting those there. Why don't you go to Google and ask, what does the secret space program say about the sun? What is the sun according to the secret space program? And the sun is not even what we think it is in our star system. What is the sun? The sun is a star. The star is one element connected to the unified field. The sun does not dictate our ascension process. The sun is we have life force. It is about life force, not about the sun. It's about the life force coming from source, from God. You're looking at something else in the matrix instead of source. Life force, consciousness, your spiritual awakening and ascension is all done through life force, which comes through, feeds through all the different dimensional Merkabas. Well, there is universal Merkabas. Then it goes through the dimensional Merkabas. Then it goes through the galactic Merkabas. Then it goes through the planetary Merkabas. Sun, the star Merkabas. Then the planetary Merkabas. And then your personal Merkabas. Notice it is not centered on the sun. The sun is just one element. Holy ones. The sun is just a part. And by the way, there are stargates and portals in suns. There are stargates and portals in galaxies and in universes and in planets and in places on the planet. And in our bodies, we have something called Templar. It's about the Templar, which are the Merkabas. This is a spinning Merkaba, Templar. You're only getting this not from the sun, you're getting this from the fourth stargate. You're getting life force from your third Templar chakra, not because of the sun, but because of the third Merkaba. It's all coming from the Merkaba, from the star tetrahedrons that are in your divine template, and in the planet's template, and in the sun's template, and the galaxy's template, and the universe's template, all the way up to the cosmos, holy ones. Source is feeding everything, not the sun. So, Machiwa, Celine, woohoo! Star Sister, thank you for supporting this work. And she did say, oh, there was no message. I'm looking at something wrong. Thank you, Celine. Bless you. One of our moderators who just got back from her homeland, China. She was gone for 45 days. I'm sure you guys noticed Celine was gone. So happy to see you, Celine. And another powerful 999 triple trinity. Thank you, Celine. Bless you, sister. Thank you for being here. So honored to have you on our team. And BJ. Yeah, BJ, Mr. Madison. What's up, brother? 555. What's up, homie? Spiritual gangster. Thank you, BJ. Much respect to you, brother. Thank you, guys. You literally are making a difference. YouTube doesn't support me anymore. So thank you so much, you guys. And my goal is, I realize that I have like a crap ton. I was going to say shit ton, but it's not a nice word. I have a bunch of crystals. I realize I can start moving. I need to start moving my crystals because that could help me each month. If I sold a few crystals, that would help me. So I'm telling you guys that. So be looking out for me selling crystals. I used to have them on my Etsy shop. I took them all off because I thought I was going to start selling shirts on there. That was just a little fling. I think what I need to do is to put I need to put my artwork on t-shirts, not just slogans. So maybe that was my mistake. So I'll start doing that too. So I'm gonna start doing specials, t-shirts, and selling my crystals, because you guys, I everything counts now. Everything makes a difference now. When you lose $1,500 of your income, it's just gone, vaporized. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Celine. And nothing reflects your inner light. You know what your statement means? It means we rely on the sun. We do not rely on the sun for our inner light. The inner light, that your statement also is blowing apart the law of one and the innerchristos concept. You're saying we're not connected to source. We need the sun to connect to source. No, we do not. We already have this connection, brothers and sisters. Everybody listening to this message, you can never be separate from God. You don't need no middleman, including the sun. You have a connection right here, baby. You are source. You are God force. You are all that is. You are the one. That is the principle that we live by. The sacred universal law of one. It's not contingent on anything at all. Only that is eternal. You are God, sovereign, free, eternally. You're not a sinner. You're not separate. You're not this. You're not that. You're always the one. Machiwa. Innerchristos, baby. What's up? Distortions run deep. So, spiritual ascension. I'm sure we can find this in the Voyager's books. You guys, there is people who can make it if they have 4.5 strands or 5.5 strands. You can get out of this place, out of this drama, out of this repeating Earth system. And you guys have every incentive to go into ascension, because what happens when you ascend out of this place? From 3D to 4D. It doesn't matter if you go to 4D, it does matter, but what I'm saying is you're still going to be much better place if you're 4D, 5D, or 6D compared to 3D Earth. It's another universe. It's another body matter. Another body. And the humans in the second universe, when you ascend, you're going to be immortal. Biologically immortal. You don't eat food. You don't need food. You eat light. It's called being a breatharian. You know, breatharian has something to do with breath. It has something to do with, in our dimension, we can sun gaze and do breath work. There's all kinds of sciences on Earth that teach you breath work. The Hindus call it breatharian. No, they call it, what's this word called? Like the word for breath, to breathe. It's a. I will remember it in a few moments. Right now I can't think of it. Pranayama. There's books on pranayama. You can find videos on how to do pranayama. You're bringing in kundalini. You're bringing in life force. That's part of how you develop your Templar. Okay? Not the sun. You develop your Templar. You cannot ascend without the Templar. Okay? So what you do is you work on the heart chakra and the throat chakra. Work on these two chakra minimum. This is overkill. You don't need it to get to 5D. No, you do need it to be physical in 5D. Remember, 5D means you need a 6D consciousness. To be physical in 5D means you need to have a 6-dimensional consciousness. Most indigos have that. That's the third eye. That's the indigo ray. It's the indigo consciousness coming in. Okay? So, one of the timelines that you can ascend out of is called the inner earth timeline. The other one is 5D Tara timeline, if you get 6 strands. Not many humans have that, you guys. Not everyone's going to, if you want to be physical in the celestial 6th dimension, you need to have 7 strands, which means you have your crown activated. If you want to be physical in the 6D, if you want to be physical in the 5D, you need to have this. If you want to be physical in the 4D, you need to have this. You don't have 4.5 strands, you aren't incarnating. You're stuck in reincarnating. And you better believe if you're going to become alive again later, incarnate again later, when the reptilians and the Zeta Greys are conquered us, you want to be in ET martial law? Because that happened to Parallel Earth. They're in martial law of ETs. They're going to go into pole shift. Okay? Do you want to risk coming alive, reincarnating in the future timeline of this timeline? Hell no. They want pole shift, man. That's their end game. They want access to the stargates, and they want to clear the real estate. Do you know what clear the real estate on Earth means? That means getting rid of all life. A pole shift will do that. Okay? When the pole shifts extremely, there's disaster, catastrophe. They know that. They will purposely create that. Not until they're ready, until they take over the gates. They want access to the stargates, you guys. That's what this whole thing is about. They could care less about us. We're in their way. But we were put in the way. We were put as guardians of the gates. They get access to our gates in the inner earth. They can go to the metagalactic core, and then they can go into other time matrices. Remember I told you there's 24? They're not going to be able to do that. The guardians will step in before they do that. We're responsible for the guardians, and I mean 13th, Elohai, Seraphi, Brahma, Rama. The Elohai, Seraphi, Brahma, Rama are responsible for our life that goes into other time matrices. So they would intervene. If you look on Voyagers, they intervened in the 1,000 Years War. They intervened in the Electric Wars. They would intervene if the reptilians and the Anunnaki got to the stargates, to the metagalactic core. You better believe they would intervene. So, because we are responsible for what happens to consciousness going to other time matrices. We're responsible for our life that we're created here, that we seeded here. Elohai, Seraphi, Maharama, blue flame, gold flame, violet flame, created the cat people, created the feline aquatic ape people, created the Ceres bird people, created the mantis people, created the dinoid reptilian people, created the insectoid people. They created the pegasi, the whale people, the dolphins, and the aquatic apes. And did I say them all? Aquatic ape, pegasi. So all of those founder races created all the other races. All ETs came from one of those founder races or mixing of founder race DNA. Everything beyond the founder races are hybrids. Do you understand that? Well, there's races like the Anuhazi, who's not a hybrid, but they were created, other life forms were created out of their DNA by mixing other DNA. So what we're trying to do, you guys, is, what has happened is our DNA has been tainted. Our DNA has been, some of it reversed. So let's start looking at the DNA. With the time that we have left. Not much time left. I gotta zoom past the rest of this. I can't even show you everything I want to because Photoshop is not working. I have no idea why it's not working. It worked right before I came on this live. I see it trying to show you this picture. It's not showing you these pictures. It's black. What? It's not even showing. Yeah. Okay. So that's not on PDF, so I can't even show you those documents. I'm going to have to fix this problems before I have my next live, you guys. I'm sorry. But there is some information in one of these PDFs. So let me open that PDF. It has some DNA stuff. So that sucks, man. Ha! It's called Architects of Light, which is one of the Indigo Children Workshop videos by the MCEO Ashana Dean. So, but now let's switch to the PDF since I got that open. Architects of Light. So, I could see the different pages here. The Diamond Sun 12-strand DNA. This is the original angelic human, not what we have here. Remember, I said most humans have 2.5 to 3.5, but our original Diamond Sun DNA is 12 strands, man. That's 12 different races, including the, well, it's in my time matrix diagram, which is another incentive to get this diagram. We're made of 12 races, 7 Earthseed races, and 5 Starseed races. Remember, I told you, Polarians and Hyperboreans created strand 1. Strand 1. Okay, Lemurians have strand 2. They created strand 2 in their time vector. Atlanteans created strand 3. We're supposed to be the Aryans creating strand 4. We're not doing it. We have the Mavarians who come after we're gone to create strand 5. And then in Chechi, create strand 6, which is in the very far future. So we have also the starseed races called Antrian, Brenoal, Heberu, Melchizedek, and Uniseti. And this is actually where all humans get their color skin tones. These ones, Antrians, are the brown skin. Brenoa are red skin. Heberu, white skin. Melchizedek, yellow skin. Uniseti, black skin. Brown, red, white, yellow, black. All of the human races with all the different skin tones didn't come from Earth. They come from the stars. So all of the Earthseed races got their skin tones from the starseed races. That's the whole point of a starseed. If you guys don't know what a starseed is, starseed is the seed is DNA, star DNA, Earth DNA. Do I have any of this on PDF? I don't. Shoot. Okay. I mean, not PDF. I mean, anyways, there's some diagrams I can't show you. But anyways, let me go back to this. So this is the original human DNA. Notice we're Diamond Sun. We're the Turnicium. Okay, the Turnicium, that's our name of our race in the 5th dimension, not just humans. We're called the Turnicium. Say it with me. Tyrannissium. Tyrannissium. And along our hybridization, sometimes we're called a Adami Kudman, cloistered human. That means starseed human. Adami Kudman, starseed human. So we have the diamond sun, 12-strand DNA. There's something called double diamond sun and emerald sun. So this diagram right here is the diamond sun, 12-strand. Let me see if it shows the higher ones. Let me look here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There's a 24-strand double diamond sun, which is the Elohai, certain family of Elohai, the some Lyran Anahazi, Syrian Azarites, Oraphim. Some of the Oraphim are double diamond sun. That's 24 strands. Humans are not 24 strands. You're no longer human if you've got more than 12 strands, you guys. You become an Oraphim, because that's where we come from. And then the Oraphim eventually becomes an Anahazi. See? The real badass. Let's look for the... Okay, so look at this graph. This is 24 strands of DNA, and we're talking about humans with 2.5. And this is a 24-strand being. Can you imagine their consciousness? Can you imagine their intelligence, their memory, their codes? Well, look at this baby. 48 strand. As you can see, there's only literally a few beings. Lyran Anuhazi and Oraphim Emerald Ore. I thought the Azarites were 48 strand. I'm pretty sure they are, because if you look in Voyagers, this graph, it doesn't show all the 48 strand beings, because the Azarites should be here too. But there's not many beings that have this consciousness, man. Okay? And also, let me show you some of the negative or reverse DNA strand patterns. Like here's the black sun, the reptilians' consciousness. 10-strand reverse, that's the important part here. Reverse DNA. Anytime you hear black sun, think of reptilians. The seraphim, which is where dinoids and reptilians come from. The dragons come from the seraphim. Orion, draconians, that's the dragon, dinoid, reptilian, insectoids, Anunnaki races, hybrids. I make all kinds of videos about these freaking hybrids, you guys. And Nephidim, Nephite, Dracons have this 10-strand reverse matrix. The Dracos have this 10-strand matrix. And so that's the ones who would have this reverse strand, which looks ugly and disgusting and not even complete, as you can see. Something called the Belial sun, 10-strand. So this one was 10-strand reverse. This one's black sun reverse. I don't know the difference. Belial sun. Oh, Belial sun, which is different races, the Anunnaki races. I guess some of the Tyrannissium Bellicudnium, some of the Alcyon Pleiadians, Anunnaki, that's the Luciferian ones, coming from Nibiru. And some, it says some human cloister Anunnaki hybrids. So this isn't like a big DNA race. Here's the Axios Sun 666 9-strand reverse sun matrix. That's what this is. This is what the Guardians are sharing with us. And there's workshops that explain this in detail. You're not getting a full rundown on the explanation. But this would include Nephilim, Templar Sun Nephilim, some of the Diamond Ruby Black Sun, which is part of a host matrix that some of it failed, some of it was successful. There's a Black Sun, Zephlihim, Original, Zeta, Orion, Azrael, Draconian, Anunnaki, all kinds of fallen angelic hybrids. Affect some of the human starseeds. Remember, the Guardian word for starseed is cloister. So it affects some of the human starseed hybrid lines. This DNA problem, some of the population on Earth has the Axion Sun DNA. Some of it has the 10-strand reverse DNA, Belial Sun. Some of the ETs have this stuff. The Black Sun, 10-strand reverse. Let me see what else. They talk about 3.5. 3.5, man. But I told you that Ashana said some humans only have 2.5. That would be up to 1 strand, 2 strand, up to about here. Not even full 3 strand. I told you, we are, the human race is in Tara in 5D. Oh, well, this is not talking about that. Sorry, I made a mistake. But this is the contemporary human DNA. We're currently in the 5th Aryan root race. Remember, before the Aryans were the Atlanteans, before the Atlanteans were the Lemurians, before the Lemurians were the Polarians and the Hyperboreans. This is our heritage, you guys. This is our heritage. Polarians, Hyperboreans, Lemurians, Atlanteans, Aryans, Mavarians, Uchechi. This is the stages of humans, the stages of ascension. You were once upon a time a Polarian, then you became a Hyperborean, then you became a Lemurian, and then you ascended into our Atlantean, and then the Atlantean ascended into what's nowadays an Aryan. All the humans on Earth are Aryans. Where the Atlanteans are gone, Lemurians are gone. We've evolved beyond this, beyond the 2nd strand, beyond the 3rd strand. Now we're working on the 4th strand, but that's not happened. Because of blocks, now we got really primitive beings on here. No wonder there's a whole divergence of IQs, different psychic abilities. Some lack psychic abilities. No wonder we have so many different blood types. A negative, B negative, A positive, B positive, AB positive, O positive, O negative, AB negative. All these different blood types, even ones I haven't mentioned. Well, this is why we have all different levels of different types of humans. So that's what this was kind of talking about. I'm just looking through, perusing any more diagrams, but we basically ran out of time. But let me check for donations and for more questions. I think BJ was the last donation. You guys, since I'm going to be closing soon, this is your last opportunity to please support your brother Anhazi. This is how I survive, you guys, literally. So thank you so much for every one of you who are helping me out, literally. Help me pay my rent. Help me buy my groceries. And so thank you so much for those of you who did donate tonight and anyone else who's going to donate before the end of the show here. And look out towards my t-shirts, my new t-shirts I plan on making, and my crystals I plan on selling. Machiwa. I encourage you guys to become a member. That's another way to support this work. Become a member. You can become a $5 member, Patreon member, a $10 Patreon member, a $20. There's a $50 one. Each tier has different, extra things to have. So plus you guys, no matter what level you have, you can have a link to the Discord chat server. If you're already a Patreon member and can't find it, write me up and I will share that link with you. There's another Connor's asked a question. Soul Star chakra tips. Okay, so let me show you guys this. Luckily, this is in PDF, which is in Cathara PDF. So let me switch to the PDF real quick. And I have to share 1 second. The Cathara PDF, which you guys can get for free. Our moderators have given you the links for free. Even though this workshop costs hundreds of dollars to originally go to, right? Now let me see if I got the 15 dimension. I might not have this on here. Actually, 15 chakras. Okay, so the Earth Star. Earth Star. That's your Maharic seal, brother. That's 6 inches below your feet. Yeah. 6 inches below your feet. And I know when I take plant medicine, man, it is raging. I feel it hardcore. Normally I don't feel it, but with plant medicine, I feel it undeniably. You'll feel your feet chakra light up, baby. What's up? And this is a pure white star. So you can imagine a pure white Merkaba star 6 inches below your feet, and practice in the meditative state. You're visualizing your Merkaba. You see the Merkaba star below your feet. You're developing your chakra. You're bringing in, what are you doing? You're focusing on that light spectra. You're bringing in that frequency. And oh my gosh, I didn't talk about triadic phase currents, but there's no time, but you guys. But let me just say triadic phase currents is what is shared in the Cathara biospiritual healing. So I'll switch back real quick to the PDF and do a Control F and put triadic phase. Triadic phase currents. Let me go up to the top though. This is like somewhere in the middle or bottom. You're going to get this Cathara Bio-Spiritual Healing. You go into the index, it tells you what page it's on. 179 or wherever else it's talking about triadic phase currents. It teaches you how to activate all the chakras that you want. Any chakra you want, you will use triadic phase currents. This is coming from the Emerald Order teaching you guys. It's in the Cathara Bio-Spiritual Healing. It talks, I'm just going through and showing you the triadic phase currents, the Maharic seal, and the planetary biofeed interface system, PBIS. You're going to learn these mechanics. You're going to learn these advanced ascension mechanics, you guys, in Cathara. It's 20-hour long video workshop. If you can join my members or find it on YouTube or BitChute or anywhere in like Telegram. There's no paywall to this. You can find it. I just make it easier for my members to have access to it. I'm trying to find the diagram. Let me find the diagram. Opening of the triadic phase currents. You see, there's a technique. They're going to learn how to do techniques to do first the Dradic phase. And triadic currents. Doradic, triadic. The triadic phase currents. You're going to learn what colored capstones are. You're going to learn about spheres, chords, and balls. This is a visualization work. That's what I'm trying to get to. Let me see if I can just go right to that page. Triadic. You're going to learn these techniques with the triadic phase currents. You're going to learn how to visualize and create Dradic spheres. You're going to learn how to visualize the Dradic chords and balls. And through this technology, through this energy visualization and using your palm chakras, they're going to teach you how to do this, man, in the Cathara Bio-Spiritual Healing. You won't just have to look at this diagram and read this text. You can actually see Ashiana teach it in the video workshop. It teaches you step by step. Step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8. You're going to learn all these steps. You memorize it. You work on this daily. Let me see if I can find. There's some diagram I'm trying to find, dude. What the? I guess this is more of the Dradic phase currents. Cathara is. I haven't even been through this whole PDF, man. But this is the most advanced essential mechanics on planet Earth, man. Coming from the emerald. I can't find what I'm looking for, but that's okay. Machiwa. Holy ones. If there was any more questions, Giannis, I can't get to them all. Gina, I will contribute when I get paid tomorrow. Thank you, Star Sister. Thank you, Gina. Much love, much respect to you. We didn't see you at the alien event. Me and Julia would have loved to seen you. Because I know you live near that. You live not too far away, I think, right? Maybe we'll see you in Sedona, sister. But thank you so much, Gina. Your contributions have been phenomenal. Truly grateful for your help as well, Gina. Much respect to you and your journey. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry. I can't wait to eat my alkaline electric vegan chili. That means no meat. It has tomatoes. It has bell peppers, green bell peppers, red bell peppers. It has onion. It has carrots, zucchini. It has what else do I chop up? Celery. It has garbanzo beans, chickpeas. OMG. With seasoning, it's freaking, I love it. I have never gotten tired of it. I made it for Julia once, but I put too much water. There was no taste. Now I know there's more seasoning. I just add more because I want a lot of water and, juices with my chili. I can't wait to eat that tonight. So yeah, baby, what's up? So I'm not always 100% vegan. I will be vegan and then eat some meat and then go back to being mostly vegan. So when I travel, I eat vegan. I eat meat sometimes, but I think you should have flexibility. And even Ashana says you need to eat meat sometimes. You need to have balance. That's according to Speaker 1 from the Ekar level, right? So, Machiwa. So yeah, brother. Focus on your 6 inches below your feet, pure white star, or a pure white sphere. Either way, you're collecting. You focus on these colors, these light spectra in those locations, in specific location, like your heart chakra, location, Merkaba, sphere, Merkaba, blue Merkaba or sphere, indigo, violet. There's a gold one, the 6th one. Silver, dark blue, dark silver, pure white, pale turquoise, pale yellow, and pale magenta. Those are your 15 light spectras, your 15 chakras, your 15 Merkabas, your 15 spheres. Practice this, you guys. It does wonders just to visualize and move it like the Guardians teach you where to move those energies. It teaches you where to move the star, where to move the sphere. How to make it bigger, how to make it spin. It is technology by the Elohai Emerald Order Guardians. It is based on light spectra, on sound, on toning, on doing songs, on speaking Enuhazi. This is not found in New Age. I'm sorry, they didn't even know they're only practicing the 7 chakra system. What the F, right? Thank you guys for joining me on tonight's live. Thank you to all my moderators who helped me with the lives. Thank you to all those of you who donated. Just double checking. And thank you to all of you who are coming here regularly. When we hold space together, this is the shield. The Christic shield. We're aligned to the Christos, to unity, to the inner God spark. We're talking about the guardian teachings. Okay? This is the shield, whether there was an official speaker shield split or not. We're still the indigos and starseeds coming together in unity, community. Bless you in holding space, holding Christic space together, you guys. Much love to all of you. Special shout out to my girlfriend, fiance, future wife, Giannis. I love you, baby. What's up? Can't wait to see you. Sing the simple Shaddai Ure with me. Sha, Shaddai Ure. Shaddai Ure. Shaddai Ure. It's a powerful affirmation, a powerful mantra, and I might as well just put it on screen. Let me go to my files, which is also on a link you guys can find on my website. I mean, this file is on my website. If you go to .com, christosavatar.com, and add this file, which is, well, anyways, it's going to be hard to explain, but let me just go show what it looks like. You can visualize this symbol while you're singing it, and it's on this PDF. Shaddai Ure. It's explained. All-embracing pillar of first cause light, which is Elohai, holy Elohai, pale turquoise. It's in the middle of planet Earth. Shaddai Ure. Akum tan. Shaddai Ure Akum tan. Shaddai Ure Akum tan. You can say it 9 times, 6 more times. Shaddai Ure Akum tan. 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 And you guys, I put that sound, what's it called? Professional singer scene. I'm not a professional singer, but there is people who with good voices singing this together, and I put that link. Let me actually put that link in chat. Which is in the PDF too, by the way, the link. That link will let you hear how to pronounce it and just sing along with the group that are, playing in the background on SoundCloud. Download it to your device. And these are other powerful affirmations. You guys, this is all consciousness. Things that you say, things that you sing, color and light that you visualize. It's all part of the light of moving energy. So when you say things like, I am Christar, what is Christar? The 12th dimensional Christos consciousness, frequency, Christ consciousness, Christ star, which is a Merkaba. A star, when we say star, we're talking about a Merkaba star. It's the white Merkaba star. That's the Christos ray, the Christos consciousness, Christ consciousness. It's just, you can say Christos consciousness or Christ consciousness. You know what we're talking about. 12th dimensional, pure white light spectra. in the form of a Merkaba star or the form of a white sphere. Machiwa. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. It's not blasphemy. Has nothing to do with Father God. This is the omnipresent, cosmic, unified source God. It is the Kundalini, the Kirishe, the Unisai. Baby, what's up? Spiritual G's, give me 5 indigos. Much love, much respect to all of you. Thank you guys for joining in this community. Much love, much respect. Machiwa. Yeah. See you guys on Saturday. No drum circles, don't worry.